Hello everyone, welcome to some Europa Universalis 4, and this screen might look a little weird to you guys because this is going to be the beginning of a new series. It's going to be called Greatest Empires Ever, and basically what I did is I took some of the greatest empires ever, and mostly from Civilization 5, but there were a few of them. I think there were a few of them where I didn't take them from Civilization 5. I can't exactly remember, but basically what we've got here is I set up 32 of them. We've got the Vikings, we've got Britain, and I know, guys, this is a typo. I couldn't, I didn't notice that until I started the game, and I'm so sorry, guys. But we've got Carthage, the Portuguese, the Spanish, France, Roma, Macedon, this is like Alexander the Great, the Ottomans, the Egyptians, Persia, Ethiopia, India, China, Siam, Korea, Japan, Mongolia, and we've even got the Shoshone, Iroquois, Aztec, Maya, and Inca, and also Songhai and the Zulu. And I did research on these ideas, and I named them accordingly. Centralized Zulu state, Zulu church, and whatnot. And I tried to balance the game out just a little bit, because if a country was like less advanced technology, such as Russia, they got an extra starting province, or Mongols, or no, China, I think, got 3 extra starting provinces. So basically that's the state of the game right now. Now I also included Polynesia, and they only started with Hawaii. So what I did is in order to keep things interesting, what I did is I played as Polynesia for about the first 50 years. Actually, it's a little more than 60 years. And I colonized and got them to a point where the AI could take care of it from there. Tried to colonize only the highest development provinces. I didn't get these, but yeah, basically that's how things are working out. So basically Polynesia has an actual chance. We got Indonesia as well. all leaders started with a let's just get into it, by the way. But all leaders started with a 666, or sorry, countries started with a 666 ruler and a 111 heir. And I did research as to the name of the heir as well, and I didn't get things exactly right, but I hope you guys will forgive me. So let's just type in observe, and I wanted this to be kind of a cool observer campaign. So let's get started. Let me just let it go. So right now it's running at speed 5. Cool. 5 speed is fine for now. We can check. Actually, you know what? 4 speed is what we're gonna go with. And Polynesia's got 3 colonies. I hope they can actually survive that much financially. We don't know, but I'm just going to keep it going at 4 speed, and we're going to look at the current wars right now. The Swedish conquest of Sealand. So it's against the Netherlands and Russia. And we've got Britain, Sweden, and France on one side. So Sweden wants this. Sweden wants this province right here. 20 development, pretty good province, I'd say. And the Vikings are getting taken out. And I know Harold Bluetooth Christianized Denmark, but I made him Norse. And so I thought that would be more interesting. These guys do follow the religions of the ancient nations, or whatever. Not all of them are ancient, but of the nations that are portrayed in Civilization 5. Songhai is Sunni, Ethiopia is Coptic, Persia Zoroastrian, of course China's Confucian, and also Korea Joseon. So what we're going to do is actually we can see a few of their ideas. Now they picked influence, so they got Hangul, which is 10% reduced technology cost. As for Japan, what do they get? They pick innovative, and they get plus 20% income for vassals. That's not really going to help them at this point. China takes religious, and they get, well, we don't know their first idea yet, but we do know they get extra manpower and extra production efficiency in their traditions. Mongolia has completely filled out innovative ideas. They're just going full in, abandoning administrative technology. They're trying to not be a Khanate anymore. They've got to reform. So, Mongolian traditions, you got some trade searing and a little bit of extra culture threshold. You've got horse archers for plus 20% cavalry combat ability. That's really good. And conquered soldiers, which is a land maintenance modifier. Basically, the Mongols would take soldiers from the people that they conquered. What does Siam have? Siam takes religious, and they get unite the Thai people minus 10% core creation cost. That's going to help them. Economic ideas for India, and they get independent India for plus 15% morale of armies. Now, India is going to be have insanely good rulers because they have that plus 0.5 yearly republican tradition, which is very, very useful, I would say. Persia, we don't know what they get for the first one, because I forgot. It's been a long time since I actually created these nations, but we got the plus 1 missionary strength and attrition for enemies, and they take humanist ideas. As for the Egyptians, they take diplomatic and religious, and they've got plus 1 attrition for enemies and plus 1 diplomatic reputation. They've got Supreme Pharaoh for minus 0.05 monthly autonomy, which is pretty good. And a Chariot Warrior, same extra cavalry combat ability as the Mongols. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if those two actually engage at some point. The Ottomans take influence and quantity. Some idea groups I just copied as best I could from the existing idea groups, such as Venice. I copied. Venice I copied, Spain and Portugal and France and Britain and the Netherlands and Sweden, and actually I don't think I did it for Russia. Yeah, I did not do it for Russia. They get an extra 2 colonists. Yeah. Yeah, so I did do unique ideas for Russia. That war ended, by the way. And no current wars at the moment. Let's keep it going on speed 4. Siam colonizing Malacca. That's going to be a really good province for them. Indonesia just sticking to Makassar. Polynesia. Still got these 3 colonies. Like I said, hope they can maintain that. Let's see what kind of treasury they've got. Highest treasury in the world. The Iroquois. And then it's pirates. And then it's natives somehow. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, Aztecs, Mayapan, the Shoshone, India, Portuguese. Okay, yeah. Here's where the non-New World stuff. India has the greatest, then it's Portuguese. Ottomans. Let's see. Where does Polynesia fit in? Is Polynesia going to go into some debt? Am I not seeing them? Am I just failing to see them? Polynesia. Oh. They're here. They got 155 ducats. Okay. Alright, not too bad. Now, Korea only has 40 ducats, and the Netherlands only has 14, but they just lost a war, so. Nippon is probably gonna really hate. Yeah, these two are rivaled. So, Japan is probably gonna really hate Korea, just because they're already getting into their territory. Does Korea currently have... Yeah, they're currently colonizing Gyeongsong. I think that's how you pronounce that. I get most of these Korean pronunciations right, but I'm not quite sure about Gyeongsong, or... I don't know if this is Yeokjin or Yukjin. But this is Pyongan, Myeongbyon, Hamgyong, Hwanghae, Gyeonggi, Wonju, Gangneung, Gyeongju, Sangju, Cholla, Chungcheong, and Jeju. That's how you pronounce those. China, as always, very rich, very powerful. Do they have any rivals? No, no possible rivals. I think it's just, in the east, I think it's just Joseon and Nippon that have rivaled each other. Usually Indonesia and Siam rival each other. I have played this game in kind of like a test. I have tried to test this out. Now, Persia is actually rival to Egypt. It's interesting how they're kind of close. It's unknown whether this is going to turn to an unfriendly competition or not. But Egypt is clearly stronger. We can see their army and navy are just very much bigger. And Egypt has also rivaled the Ottomans, but they have formed an alliance with Macedon. And look at this, Venice creeping up in here. Venice has rivaled Austria, Macedonia, Macedon, and the Ottomans. Very interesting. You know, it'll be very interesting to see just how much territory Venice takes, you know, trying to block off those other countries from territory that they really should get. Like Macedon. They really should get Negroponte. I mean, oh no, you know what? They didn't colonize this. They're trying to convert it. It's Sunni. That's really weird. Why is it Sunni? Why? Why is the culture Greek? Oh, you know what? No. Turkish. Yeah, the Ottomans still have Turkish as their primary culture. But Sunni is a religion, so it's really interesting how this... Okay, let's see. Okay, so... Okay, Macedon starts with it. Okay, makes sense. So it's Greek culture. They start with it. That's right. I remember. Okay, then it was annexed by the Ottomans, but then it was converted, and then reconquered by Macedon, and then it was conquered by Venice. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. It's very, very interesting, actually. And we've got Venice trying to come up here. 11 development is okay. Let's see. Tuscan... What? Why is this Tuscan culture? This is really weird. Yeah, this is very, very weird how this is Tuscan culture. This is not really supposed to exist. Because... Wait. Oh, you know what? Roma starts with this province. That's why. That's why you have cultures that normally wouldn't really exist because of all the colonization. And they still exist because the countries just start with that. Like, let me see. Francian. Is this all Francian? No, you got Norman over here. But it looks like they do culture convert. You got, well, English is, yeah, that's, you know, whatever. But you got Flemish here. You know, there's that. The Danish culture, Swedish culture. Okay, I don't think that's going to be a problem there, but same with Japanese and Korean. They only start with, but you got Jin culture. Look at the Jin culture. It's because China it's supposed to be the Tang Dynasty, and they start out with Jin culture because Wu Zetian was Jin culture. She was born in what province was she born in? I think Pyongyang or something. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry guys, I can do Korean pronunciations, but not Chinese. I think she was born in this province right here, but the capital was here, and so even though this culture is Sibei or something like that, I changed the culture to Jin just because she was the leader. Mongols colonizing Setsun. Cool. And Korea just colonizing that. Nippon actually has 2 colonies because they get an extra colonist in their ideas, so Let's see. Okay, and Polynesia has finished 2 of those colonies and cored one of them. Just need to finish coring this, which it doesn't say when they're done, but when they're going to be done. But soon they'll be done with this. And I've already made Polynesia take exploration. I'm actually not sure if I made them take naval. Maybe they did that on their own, but... Or maybe I picked it for them. I'm not exactly sure. But, yeah, hopefully Polynesia can become, like, super powerful. I'm kind of hoping for it, to be honest. I don't know who you guys are rooting for, but I'm definitely rooting for Polynesia. But, most of all, I've got to root for Korea. I'm going to Korea, October 14th. I'm leaving for Korea. So, and I will be there for quite a long time. We got a war here? We got 2 wars. Portuguese conquest of Toledo and the Roman conquest of Cuenca or Suenca. Okay, so, wow. Okay, so Spain is at war with Roma, Carthage, and Portugal. They're going to get wrecked. They've already gotten wrecked. Yeah, they're just getting destroyed. Spain, yeah. Not so sure Spain is going to work out too well. Interesting how Portugal has not chosen colonization ideas. They've not chosen exploration. The Incans do colonize. That's right, they do. They've got enough development. So do the Iroquois. The Shoshone are colonizing. I don't know if they start out being able to colonize, but they are right now. So, oh, all right. Polynesia getting inland Australia. That's really cool. It's good. Where's Persia going? Persia's going okay. More down the Arabian Peninsula. Ethiopia. Now, Ethiopia has only Muslim tech, but I had to give them a lot of provinces because all this land is really crappy. Now, they have been developing it. See all that production? But as it starts out, a lot of this development is just really, really bad. So I just had to give them a boost of provinces. You know, whereas the Egyptians, if you give them Cairo, Alexandria, Rosetta, and Damietta, they'll be fine, you know. And even Jerusalem, they'll be okay. Except I don't think they start out with Jerusalem. I think they have to actually colonize that. So, oh man, the Spanish got destroyed. Yeah, this is very unlikely that they'll ever recover from this. I think they've been conquered too early for them to actually be able to recover. Let's see, Carthage. Carthage setting up a colony right here. Roma setting up a colony in Provence. All right, very interesting. And they've got Murcia and Almeria. Ironically enough, they do not have the province they declared war for. France is still colonizing that province. I'm going to turn up the speed like tons because I want to see more stuff going on. Now with the Aztecs, I could not make them Nahuatl religion because it requires you to have vassals and stuff, so I just made them animist. But the Mayapan, I could still make Mayan religion. Why did they vassalize Sioux? Wait. Oh, they're allied with Mixtec. They vassalize Sioux. Or Chu. I don't know. I remember back in the good old days when I what did I do? I watched Arumba's Maya campaign. That was fun. Okay, Siam still hasn't finished colonizing Malacca. Indonesia has finished colonizing Makassar, and they're actually getting Banten, which is pretty good. Actually, that's a really good strategic decision because it kind of allows them better access. It basically gives them full control over Java, which is what they really need. Because they need to kind of secure their ownership over the islands. If they can do that, then I think they'll have a navy that just can't be beaten. And if you're playing as a Malaysian nation and you have all this stuff, it doesn't matter how big your army is because your navy can protect your lands. You know, no problem. You know, even if they start coming down the Malay Peninsula, your navy can block them off right here. You know, and even if you've got the entirety of Sumatra, you know, that's a lot of coastal land. Same thing as Japan. You know, there's like what, 3 provinces I think that are not coastal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. 4 provinces that are not coastal, and look how many provinces this is. So it's pretty crazy. Alright, so Chosun has finished colonizing Gyeongsong, and they're now colonizing Hetuala, which is an interesting choice because whenever I play as Korea, because like I said, I played a couple of test campaigns as Korea and also Polynesia. I try to secure the entire Korean region first. See how this is the Korean region? Yeah. Including Jeju. So, I try to secure this first. And you know, this is some good land. 9 development and 8 development. It's not amazing land, but you know, it's good, I think. I think it's, you could definitely get it, you know, and it would be good land. But they are getting a 13 development province, which is also understandable. I also kind of feel bad for Korea because I gave Japan an extra colonist, and Japan is you know, they're going to be trying to claim Chikuzen. I guess they had to get Dokdo under the control, right? But let's see, the Mongols spreading out still. China looks like they're expanding. What happened here? Why didn't they colonize this province before? That's a little weird. But we got India still expanding with... Okay, I thought they had colonized the second province, but it's nothing. Persia jumping all the way to India. Now this is really interesting because look why they're doing this. He's getting an important center of trade, which can transfer trade power gradually down the line to Goa or Joa, I don't know, Indus, Hormuz, and then to Basra, which is where his main home node is. So he wants to kind of secure Indian trade so that he can kind of filter that money through to him, to himself. Nippon is a very valuable trade node right now. Usually the Nippon actually becomes very... Actually, wow, really? Genoa. Wow, Nippon is actually more valuable than Genoa right now. And Genoa is an end node. But Venice is 13.4. Pretty insane. And the English Channel is even more insane, 20.1. The English Channel always becomes super insanely rich. In these custom campaigns. So you got the second Roman conquest of Suenza. It's against Spain and also Austria this time. They joined. And then you got the British conquest of Nordjylland against the Netherlands and Russia. So Britain decided that they wanted this province. Interesting as to why they didn't want this, but they can't claim that because they don't have an adjacent sea zone, you know, so... But anyways, guys, I think I'm going to have to stop it right here, but this is very, very exciting, and I'm glad that I have let this kind of run for a while before I, ooh, looks like Macedonia took some land from the Ottomans. But, yeah, I'm glad that I have kind of let this run a little bit while I was trying to help out Polynesia. And, yeah, we'll see how this goes. So, thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.